Finding success as a new MMO in a crowded market is no small task. Amazon Games hopes to add New World to the small list of truly successful, big-budget, non-free-to-play MMO games when it releases this May on PC. We recently got the chance to try out New World at a small demo at the Amazon Games offices and got to see their vision for this ambitious MMO firsthand. In New World, you take on the role of an intrepid adventurer that lands on the shores of a strange foreign land known as Eternum that's overflowing with a powerful substance. It's up to you to decide the fate of the land, vie for control over its territories, and wage war against enemies. But it takes a while to get to the good stuff. The first several hours of New World were about as predictable and cookie-cutter as PvE content can get in an MMO. There are lots of checklist quests and tons of tedious backtracking across mostly lifeless zones in a grind to reach the actually fun parts. There are open world events and boss enemies to fight, but we didn't get to try any of that in our demo. Thankfully, the fun bits are really fun and will likely be worth the grind for the right type of player, namely the combat. The developers specifically cited Dark Souls as heavy inspiration, and it shows. Rather than targeting enemies and cycling through your auto attack and lock-on abilities, you have to actually be focused on every attack. Each weapon has actual weight and hit detection based on its physical movement in space, including projectiles, which makes PvP extremely intense. It's a thrilling rendition of typical MMO combat. New World also does not have a class system at all. Instead, you level up your base attributes through accruing XP and then also level up each of your weapon mastery trees alongside your base level. From the very start, it's obvious that New World is built around PvP as the endgame goal. All of the PvE content feels engineered to teach you the base mechanics before you're thrust into the massive territory control war battles. These battles are undoubtedly the main draw and main focus in New World and feature enormous 50v50 player conflicts. In these battles, companies, aka guilds, do battle at large castles to try and take control of entire regions where players live and carry out their lives in-game. The entire economy in New World will be completely player-driven, so owning territories, setting tax rates, and controlling the flow of goods is crucial to the game's flow. There is a PvE alternative to the PvP wars referred to as invasions that take place at the keeps with a similar large-scale format against NPC enemies, but none of that was available for testing during the preview event. We also didn't get to see the magic system at all. If the PvP side of things can live up to its promises, it may convert typically PvE-focused players into believers purely on the depth and intensity of its combat and interfaction disputes alone. But until we see more creativity from the PvE side of things or a clearer picture of what the path to endgame actually looks like, it's unclear if this upcoming MMO will hold players' interest long enough for them to get to the good stuff. For more on New World, check out our Everything We Know So Far video, and for all things RPGs, you're already in the right place right here at IGN.
Challenger!
We need your help and your vote to determine the best video game character of all time. Help us decide in our Power Ranking Face-Off vote. Head to IGN and let your voice be heard.